Well, the truth is, I said what? I had been in law school in the United States studying the great words of our nation. And I found the most amazing thing, that the founders of this nation tried to establish with us a Bill of Rights and a Constitution so that every single man who ever walked upon this earth called America would be free and could seek the light. But slowly the forces of darkness and corruption and misguidance and not having the truth of the whole message, only having the goodwill of the early people, the truth gets corrupted and slowly we lose things. Well, myself as well in this story, I'm sitting there in law school after realizing that there was something amazing. By the time you get to the second semester or third semester, you start to feel so disgusting because we said this is always a story about the truth of the light and the darkness. And anybody who studies the American legal system or any legal system by anyone other than that of the Lord Most High sees injustice. Only what the Lord says is just and true because he is the Lord and is planner of all things. But strange things start to happen as I'm looking at the law, and I start to get more and more disheartened because I see that the law that was supposed to be based on searching for the light starts to become about misdirection and manipulation. And the corruption starts to spread through the legal system. And since I have to admit my own flaws, and this is one of the most embarrassing pointers that has hurt my own father more than anyone else. I said my father always used to say, I want a son. I pray for him, oh Lord, give me a son who will speak the words and talk to the people and tell them the truth. But he didn't know what that meant. And I used to hear him and think, what is it that this old man is talking about? You know, you hear your dad say strange stories about the Eastern culture and the Eastern light and one day this, that, and you don't believe it. Daddy, I didn't understand the truth. Oh, my father, peace and blessings be upon you. And so, as the story goes, I continued to go to law school so disheartened. And I told my father I don't really want to practice law. And my father had such strong desires that if you become a lawyer, that will be the answer. Because in the West, to understand the law, to be able to communicate at that level, is an understanding for the people. My father knew that. I didn't understand it. But anyway, I went to the law school and continued to study. And so, since the truth be told, I have to admit my own flaws, I started to get so disgusted with what I was learning that my heart wasn't in it. My soul wasn't in it. I didn't feel the light. And so I sat there in class and just listened and really didn't pay attention. And my mind was trying to search for things that I didn't understand. As I told you in this story, everything that I am revealing to you right now in this moment, I didn't know before. I didn't even know this last week. And so as I sat in law school, slowly I got disheartened. And as is the plan of the Lord Most High, the idea of me being a lawyer was not in the plan of the Lord. Not that I didn't try, not that I didn't want to, but as is truth, and I'm revealing the truth in this video, something that none of my friends or most of my family don't even know, because why would anybody reveal the embarrassing secret of themselves? And it's a sign for me and for you that we should never be arrogant and should be humble if we truly want to seek the light. And that even when sometimes some things go bad, there might be a sign of good things to come. That after 4 years of going to law school, and if you've listened to me and understand, I'm not a dumbass. I'm admitting I'm just a son of Adam and I don't know much, right? I'm not claiming to be knowledgeable, but I'm not a total dunce in the wall, right? I'm not a log. I could put a few words together, right? I think I could formulate a sentence. And so I went through law school, and by the 4th year, as the circumstances had it, not paying attention and not even trying and not even listening or doing any of the reading or doing the things that anybody should, I was finally thrown out of the law school and removed. After 4 years, instead of graduating with a 2.0, I got kicked out after 4 years with a 1.96824. I mean, something so ridiculous that it is funny to tell and embarrassing. but I know the reality of the truth now, so I can be at peace. And I hope that my father hears this, because I know that the desire for me to go to law school and become a lawyer was always greater for my father than it ever was for me, and perhaps that's the reality of the truth. But the Lord Most High is the greatest of all planners, and I've admitted that terrible lack of grace on my part only because I'm insisting that what I am revealing to you here is greater than anything else. And so, since I'm telling you the truth of the story of the light from the beginning to the end, and talking about myself as the person who is revealing to this earth for the first time to all of mankind in the English language the story of the truth, I must continue to tell you where I am in this story. So after law school is finished, and I don't graduate, and I don't take the bar, and I'm kind of ducking and dodging most of my friends who are now, I'm hoping, listening to the story. And if you understand, I'm sorry. I was too shy to tell you because I was embarrassed that I failed out of law school. It just wasn't meant to be. But the beauty of the story, just listen to it because it gets more amazing. It's at this point I have to accept the reality of where I am in this story, and why it is important those who understand the signs will make it clear to you. We have said that all the sons of Adam are always trying to remember what is the truth. And the truth reminds the believer. And when I explain this to you, why the truth is the reminder to any believer, you might just feel the light and say, I accept Islam. I accept the truth of that story. I want to be amongst those who call themselves Muslims. And I told you I won't ask you to do anything, but I'll just reveal to you the story, and you shall know the truth of your own, right? That is the claim of any bearer of the truth. That something had been happening to me. I had started to realize that in something that my father had said was some wisdom, but I still didn't understand what it meant. My father had said, "Oh Lord, give me a son who can speak to the people." And so I said, listen, I finished law school. I didn't graduate and I can't practice law. And anybody who's been to law school knows that basically what law school is an advanced degree of communication. And so since we're talking about speaking and communication, and I said, you're going to hear the story in a way that it's never been told to you before, and you're going to hear why it is that you're able to get the truth of the story from someone who is able to communicate it to you in your own words by the proof of the signs of his very existence. And so I have been sitting here on this planet Earth trying to figure out, how do I explain some of these ideas that I have to other people? And so obviously in this modern day and age, the best way to communicate is online, right? Anybody can go and use this amazing technology that we have to communicate with any of the sons of Adam. It is almost like we are at a stage in the world where we are ready for someone to say the words once and for all on the earth, and for all of the world to hear it, and for everyone to know why the truth is being said and how it is said. But how do you say that truth? I don't know. And so I started to talk about different things on the hotconflict.com website and started to say, all right, let me tell them stories of different things. Let me mix Eastern and Western culture. I understand these ideas from the East and what the religion is really talking about, and there is so much misconception and misdirection and misunderstanding, and so much is lost in translation, as they say, that if someone were to tell people the stories and explain to them in the right way, they might be able to understand. But oh, the situation here is so difficult. As you know, that you have been told that we are at war with Islam. And for the last 7 years, we have been told that there is a global war on Islam. That the enemy is your Muslims and they're everywhere. They're jumping out at you in the dark and they all believe in these secret things. But there's not any Muslims to come and say the truth. And the whole of the world is asking, where in the world is any Muslim? How come there is not a single Muslim in the world who is coming to tell the truth? And all of the Muslims are saying Islam means peace, Islam means peace.